Mr. Steinman, what are the benefits?
Now or 10 years from now?
Well, we can already start planning.
No, the immediate benefit is that we are going to see, and I do not want to exaggerate, but I'm also not saying it lightly, we are going to see an explosion. Mark my words, an explosion of economic activity to establish the infrastructure on land that we will need, or that the industry will need, to service their oil rigs out there in the ocean. Now, an oil rig, I don't know if you've ever been on one. It's a massive thing. massive. No, I was very fortunate. The Brazilian government took me to that main exploration rig of theirs, floating rig in the Tupi oil field, where they were drilling a well in 1,000 meters of water depth. Now that was sort of the limit then. This is more than 20 years ago. The Brazilians are also the first people who actually refined the technology to drill in deep water, 1,000 meters or more. We are now drilling in 1,600 meters at Mupani. So you can imagine how the industry, from a technological perspective, how it has evolved over the last 2 decades. But that cannot happen unless you don't have the factories that you need on land. So why do I say factories? That oil rig, I've just explained how big it is. On some of them, most of them have about, I would say, 200, 300, maybe 400 on the bigger ones, people working there. But on the really big ones, there are 2,000 people working on a single rig. Now, as I explained to you earlier, 2,000 people create a lot of logistics.
Yes.
You need to take food there. And there are no mahangu or mealies growing in the sea. And they don't want to eat fish every day. And, there's no fish to catch in the deep sea.
Yes.
We catch the fish close, inshore we call it, closer to land. So I'm joking a bit now, just to sort of paint the picture.
Yeah.
The thing is, everything you need out there, you have to take there. And you can't take it by ship from China or from America all the time. In the beginning, that's what happens. You have these huge ships that service these rigs, and if you go to Walfish Bay, you see the rigs lying there, those that come in for repairs or for service, but you also see some of these big ships that service the rigs.
Yes.
Now you can think for yourself, it doesn't make economic sense to continue providing those services by ship from very far destinations. And that support typically comes from Brazil, from the United States, a little bit from the northern part of Europe, and then a lot from China. And also a little bit from India, but it is very expensive. So to make all of this work, once you have determined that there is sufficient oil, or at least sufficient indications of good oil, you need to streamline the supply side. And it is more than just food for the people working on the rigs. Let's say, I know there are 3 active rigs now, and there are some on their way. I think there's about 5 or 6 rigs in the Orange Basin right now, but I don't think they're all active, but they all have to be manned and they have to be serviced. So how do you take the food there? You can go by ship, it's about 2 or 3 days. You can go by helicopter, like they do with the diamond industry. But also for some of the oil rigs, there's a helicopter flying every day from Oranjemund to some of those places. But then you're very limited in the amount that you can carry.
Yes.
So what it means is you have to take your bulk items by ship. There's no other way. By air, it's more for your very expensive items. Medicine or emergency stuff. But it's not only the people. The people have to eat. The people, you need medicine. You need a whole lot of other things. But on the technological side, to keep those rigs drilling, I don't have the words to describe the enormity of the technical needs that industry is creating. And I've just made the statement that it's not feasible to continue servicing them by ship from far destinations, even if it is Cape Town. A lot of the support comes from Cape Town, but that also is too far. And that perhaps gives us a very good idea. If you look at the harbour of Cape Town, and even Port Nolloth, and you look at Walfish Bay, we get all very opgewonde about Walfish Bay, and it's nice and so big, and we improve it all the time, but it's tiny, tiny, tiny. Walfish Bay, the capacity needs to increase fourfold just to handle the initial investments of all the factories and stuff that we need to build on land.